So I made my little joiners up. So all the wires are extended. Now I'm going to put the heat shrink on with the glue in it to seal them off and extend them up to these wires here. It goes into the junction box. So they're all crimped up, sealed with heat shrink. So we'll move on to the other end. That's the first harness extended. I staggered cut them so that all the heat shrinks weren't in the one big lump. And yeah, they all ended up the same length, which was pretty cool. Got the nice big piece of heat shrink on. That's the smallest I could go to get it over all the terminals, to get all the wires in. That looks heaps better than what we started with. Now let's do this other horrible thing. The wires that I've got are multiple colours, and I've only got black wire to extend them. So rather than buy all the different colours of the rainbow, I ended up buying some coloured heat shrink. So my black wire that I bought, I can turn into a blue and yellow tracer. And that's how I've done it. Here's the second harness that I made for the junction box, which is the fuse box. I had to run that external fuse that it was running before, because when I tested it, the actual the fuse box is faulty inside. So it's a pity I've got to do it, but I've got to run that extra fuse externally. I have the junction box all mounted and wired up. It looks heaps better than hanging off the side of it. Just tucks in under this bracket pretty nice, and yeah, looks pretty good. Definitely a lot neater than before. So on to the next bit. Okay, I'm not sure what's under this tape and these terminal connectors, but let's have a look. I've thinned a bit of stuff out, but it's still like miles to go. But yeah, getting there, I think. Getting rid of a bit of excess stuff, neaten it up. Heaps of real manked out wiring. I don't think I did all this. I think it's been touched by everybody. Anyway, we will continue on. After looking into it a bit more, I've noticed that all these red wires that go to the positive of the battery basically aren't fused. They're directly to the relays, but there's no fuses in them. So that was a bit naughty of me. So yeah, I'm going to take all the wiring loom off the ECU, ditch all these fuses. Yeah, speaking to my mate Glenn, we're going to change the coils, get rid of these coil igniters and those big Holden Commodore V8 ignition coils, and put something a bit nicer on. So we'll go backwards a few steps and end up a lot better off. I've unplugged it, disconnected it all, gave it a bit of a trim up. Let's try and make this piece a bit better. So back to the bike's original harness, which I'm going to neaten that up some more and do it a lot nicer. Get rid of that bit. It's definitely looking neater now, so I'm pretty happy with it. I ended up putting the flush relay back where it normally lived, also the headlight relays for high and low beam. Put a couple of fused relays in for the fuel injection side of things. So I'll get my new loom out and I'll start to rewire that. I have to run coil igniters and those standard big coils that I had before, because I can't seem to find any coil on plugs to go down these small holes. They just don't seem to make them. That's where we're up to. Here's the main feed for the fuel pump relay. Yeah, all spliced up pretty good. At least it's not that bright red wire anymore.